The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. If you enjoy our work, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the links in the description. Thanks for your support, and enjoy. Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by my dear friend made of literal steam, the boy.
Hey, there's nowhere to take that bit.
No, there's not.
Am I going to do a weird voice? No.
Hey. Is that what a steam guy would sound like?
You know, I'm not sure.
Comments.
You know what, actually? Hey.
Okay.
Die.
I guess he is a man made of literal steam. Evil steam. This is a Tuners podcast. Did you guys know that? We did. Today, when you're listening to this, unless you're listening to it in the future, which you probably are, is the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, so it is.
It's America Day, where Americans
America!
yell copyrighted music, and
I just said America in a weird cadence. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, we got 10 seconds of that shit, and you're not Danny Sexbangs.
And what are they going to do? Demonetize us?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so we could do what we did last year and talk about all things John Cena, but instead...
Is that what we did last year?
We had some sort of America podcast, and like John Cena, that's pretty America.
We did, but you know, that's not an idea that has 2 podcasts worth of legs to it.
Sure, fucking isn't, unless they invented new America stuff in the last year, and let me tell you,
hey,
they goddamn didn't.
Let's just move right along.
So what is going on right now, ending on the 5th of this beautiful July, actually, is the Steam Summer Sale. The Seam Summer Sale. You can buy all the seams that you need at Jo-Ann Fabrics. Get on down there. I think it'd be pretty sick if Jo-Ann Fabrics actually put on a Seam Summer Sale. You can get like seam rippers and like Velcro and thread. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like that. That'd make me smile. I wouldn't buy anything, because what the fuck do I need that stuff for?
Also, like, that's way too hip for Jo-Ann Fabrics.
Jo-Ann Fabrics under new management. They got a really sick Twitter that throws shade at people who don't know how to sew.
Oh my god, that'd actually be really great. I wouldn't shop there because, I have no need of their products.
Actually, the blanket that's on the back of my chair and the one that's a curtain in the next room.
Just strips of cloth from Jo-Ann Fabrics? That's great.
Anyhow, Steam Summer Sale is what we're here to talk about.
Jo-Ann Fabrics podcast.
Where the boy and I threw some monies at Gaben, and he gave us games.
How long have you been working on that one?
I just thought of it, and like, in the amount of time it took me to go, I should say this, and it come out of my mouth, I realized how horrible it was. So, I'm full of regret and iced tea. Let's continue.
So, one of the reasons that we wanted to do the Steam Summer Sale podcast here is because, it's a really good set of deals. And the other reason is we needed a podcast.
On short notice.
Because
I've been working on a project that if you guys don't know about, you're not going to. This isn't one of those false promises things.
Also, you know, you don't care.
I've been super tired. Maybe they care. Maybe it's why they come here. They want updates on my life.
No.
Today I ate hot dogs.
Stop. Anyway.
I was going to say more dumb anecdotes when I realized how fucking stupid that was. What's a first game that you purchased, the boy? What is the game you bought?
The first game I bought chronologically is actually not the first one on your list.
Well, it's the first one on the list. I don't give a shit. It's the fucking list. Look. Do the list.
Making it all sorts of weird colors.
Yeah, so we can tell at a glance whose is whose. Mine's the fucking teal one.
Okay,
yeah,
stop.
Yours is green.
Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
Yeah, I can't buy that one because I can't use a controller. I don't really want to play it either. Like, potential spoiler alert, because I've never played it or watched a Let's Play or anything. My money's on either one of the kids dies and then you have to go through the heartache of only using half the controller for part of the game after you've used both sides, or the kids go on this big long adventure and their dad dies. So everything was for naught but the friendships you made along the way.
I tried to get him to take a bet on which of those two outcomes he would prefer, but he wouldn't take the bet.
No, I know it's just caps, because that's what we make bets on.
Yeah, we make bets in Fallout caps.
I never printed the bison dollars, but I believe that like either of those are correct. You know, I'm not willing to make a call on that.
So I got it. I mean, largely this was a triumph of critical praise. I got this game purely on the recommendation of like 3 or 4 critics I actually trust the opinions of, who I don't necessarily use critics to be like, oh, they like this game, so I'll like this game. That means they like it, so it's good. Mm-hmm. It's more, they like this game, and from watching them for years and understanding their profile, I know what kind of games they like. So I can use that information to determine whether or not I'll want this game. And like 3 very prominent internet critics of video games all recommended this game with like top fucking marks of best game of the year. One of them referred to it as his favorite game of all time. And so,
do you have a critic that you can just trust?
I used to, but I don't anymore.
Okay.
I used to just be able to trust Tycho from Penny Arcade. If he said a game was good, it was good.
There's a couple of outliers because of like genres I specifically don't like. But in general, if Dodger enjoyed a game, I will fucking enjoy that game. Like, without fail. She did something where, because they converted Twitch over to, like, you can buy games that they've played on there or some shit.
Yeah, you get an Amazon link.
Yeah, and she asked on Twitter if there were any games that she had played that we had bought, and I'm like, oh, Dodger, strap in. Because there has been so much shit that even back when she was doing Let's Plays on her YouTube channel more frequently that I got because she played like the first couple episodes and I'm like, this looks amazing.
But yeah, no, not anymore. As Tycho has become dad.
Yeah, he only plays baby games for children.
No, it's more like he grew a love for games where you're a dad.
Oh, he got that dad virus.
Yeah, he got the dad.
He just sits around playing The Last of Us and crying.
I'm given to understand, yeah. And, like, so now it's, I mean, don't talk about better content on your content, but now
what the fuck, we gonna lose money?
Again, what are you gonna do? Demonetize this? Now it's a mixture of Total Biscuit, Yahtzee, Croshaw, Tycho. Are usually my 3 pillars.
I can take what TB and Yahtzee say based on that profile thing, like you were talking about.
I know what you like, and I know what you don't like. So I know that based on your sentences, like if TB tells me an open world game is pretty okay but kind of boring and there's a lot of filler, that means that game is really fun and there's a lot to do.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
I experienced
if he bitches about busy work and non-content, that means there's a lot of fun shit to do in that game and I would like it.
I experienced the taste of what they go through though, and I'm still haven't gotten back into big open world games yet just because sweet Injustice 2, but no, I felt that and I was like, oh, this kills the fun of games I love. Holy shit. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, they do video games for a living. They're bored of video games. Mm-hmm. I get it. I do video games for fun, to relax from my day job. So like
podcasting.
No, I have a day job. I
know.
Look, if you guys want me to podcast all the time, I will do that for you, but
yeah, we got a Patreon down in the subscription.
You gotta help me out. You gotta help a brother out on this one.
It's in my name, but I will give him some of that money. I'll buy him a whole snack.
So
I bought Scribblenauts Unmasked. Oh no, you see, so Brother is usually $14.99. Right now, it's on the Steam sale for $1.49. If they haven't played the game, like quick description, what is it?
It is you play a co-op game by yourself. You're playing both halves of a co-op game. You're playing 2 different brothers, a bigger, stronger one and a smaller something or one. I forget. I haven't played the game and it's...
Pluckier.
Yeah, pluckier, sure. And you are solving puzzles together. And because of how much fun I had with something else I bought during the Steam Summer Sale, I decided to get this. Again, in conjunction with the rave reviews it got.
So I bought Scribblenauts Unmasked. I figured we'll go back and forth on this, except for where it overlaps there in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
Which is usually $19.99. I got it for a cool $5. I love the Scribblenauts series. I've loved it since it came out. Been playing it on my DS for years. And then I got the most recent Scribblenauts on Steam years ago. And I wanted Unmasked, but come on, $20? Fuck you. But it was only $5 this time, so I picked that up. It's the DC Scribblenauts, so It's got a whole crazy array of DC characters.
So much so that we started doing a game in the lobby area where we would try and name the most obscure DC characters we could personally think of. Me, him, and our other roommate Beard, and we tried to name the most obscure characters we could think of, and see if it had it. And when they got to Infectious Lass from the League of Substitute Heroes, I was out. Like, that's as deep as I go. I'm sorry.
And, I was doing some looking into it, and a lot of the characters that they didn't have that we were talking about were kind of weird.
Or too new.
Well, it was weird because they were so new that they weren't in there, and this game came out 3-4 years ago. And there were... Static wasn't in there. But I understand there's some licensing issues with him, because he's actually got... joint custody sort of thing.
Yeah, well, the imprint he's originally a part of, and DC, there's a joint custody thing. It's kind of hard to get licensing for any of those characters.
Yeah, as I understand it, he was actually originally supposed to be in Injustice 2, but the licensing.
You don't. That's probably what Regan is, to be honest.
Maybe
the bits and pieces of Static reconfigured, because it's
Black Lightning,
hard to get licensing for him, Rocket, or Icon, or any of those characters. Young Justice got it, and I was really surprised.
But the weird one, the actual one that wasn't there that I thought was strange, was Condiment King.
Because you'd figure that one's wacky enough that it's...
Especially for Scribblenauts. Scribblenauts, if you've never played it before, you solve puzzles with logic. You have a magic notebook in the game where you write shit in, and you can use adjectives to, change it in some ways, and they reward you for doing something unique instead of this thing needs solved, flamethrower. The next time you use, this thing needs solved, all right, matches.
Yeah, they reward you for not just figuring out the most effective thing to do, which is obviously grappling hook, rope, wings, and they reward you for trying to think up unique solutions to each puzzle. It honestly is a fun game to fuck around in, but I didn't buy it purely because I have severe Grand Theft Auto disease in that game. I don't play the story. I just summon funny things for 20 minutes and then I'm bored.
Ironically, the last Grand Theft Auto I played was 4? That was the one with the Eastern European guys?
Yeah, 4.
And I played it for the story. I didn't really do much of the fucking around stuff. I'd go to a comedy club sometimes, and anytime my cousin bothered me, I would take him to see Big American Titties. But... I think I did a little bit of the dating as well, but for the most part, I just did the story missions, and I copped out when it got super depressing.
That's good. The ending is depressing.
Yeah, which was a little bit before the end, and oh my god, I guess the ending is worse. So lucky me. What's the next game on your list there, Boy?
This one's real simple. Castle Crashers. It's a fun beat 'em up game where you play knights and you thwomp on shit. I bought it purely because Spork has it on Steam, and I like playing beat 'em ups with my friend White.
There you go.
It's originally $14.99. It's on sale for $3. Beat 'em ups are fun. Beat 'em ups aren't really all that fun by yourself, but if you have at least one good friend, they're a hoot. So
Scott Pilgrim was a lot less fun by myself than it would have been if we had played it like you, me, and Brandy played Chronicles of Mystara this weekend. So
that was super fun.
That was stupid fun. We need to do that shit more often.
Mm-hmm.
I bought Shadowrun Returns and Shadowrun Dragonfall because I had Shadowrun Hong Kong, which is the third game in the series, because it was on sale, but the other two weren't, a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
But I wanted to play the others. I know you don't have to, but I wanted to.
I have a game like that on my list.
There you go. The original price for both was $14.99. Shadowrun Returns is $1.49. Shadowrun Dragonfall is $2.99. They are isometric RPGs based on Shadowrun, the pen and paper role-playing game, which I'm traditionally not a fan of and mock relentlessly because they have...
Ooh, those prices aren't bad. I might pick those up.
Yeah, dude. The third one's also on sale.
I honestly might pick those up. That's not bad.
I traditionally mock it because they've got this stupid slang. And this is coming from someone who, read A Clockwork Orange in high school and thought it was really cool. So... it's got to be pretty dumb. But aside from the slang, it's cool cyberpunk shit. I actually like the basic concept. It's a lot of the fluff that people I actually pen and paper role-playing game with over the years put into the game, and the extra try-heartedness about it that made me kind of shy away from it. But Apparently these are really good. I watched some video reviews on them from a guy who seemed to know what he was talking about. I don't even remember his fucking name at this point. And I wanted to pick up the other two.
Did you say the prices?
I said the prices. We can go back over to you.
I bought this basically because it's a series that I've played a couple games in, but never this one. And this one's actually hailed as the best game in the series. So I had a chance to pick it up for $1.79 off the current $9 price tag because it's an older game. I got Hitman Blood Money, widely hailed as the best game in the Hitman series, and I've played 2 or maybe 3 other Hitman games that aren't this one, and I kind of liked all of them. So if I have the opportunity to play the literal best game in the series, I'm gonna.
Sounds good. Hitman is a stealth action game.
Yeah, think the new Deus Ex, but like good though.
Oh. He's right. Like, those might have been fun games, but those controls were awful. I could not get into it because the controls are so fucking bad.
I like the idea, the concept of Hitman the game, because the idea is it's a stealth puzzle game, essentially.
Right.
Because if you're playing it right, you don't get into firefights. If you're playing it right, except in the sequences where you have to get into a firefight, you're being Solid Snake, and you're murdering this dude to take his outfit to get into here, to murder that dude to take his outfit to get into this other place, to set up a thing where when the guy walks under it, the fucking fan will drop from the ceiling and crush his head. You are playing a puzzle game wherein you also have the option to buy 6 big shotguns and just blow everyone to hell if you get frustrated, which I like that option.
I'm more of a Metal Gear guy. I played Hitman Absolution, I believe. Did not care much for that. I like it in concept, but I like Metal Gear because the puzzle element isn't there as much. Now, I do like certain puzzle games, but I found it a little frustrating.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't like puzzles and RPGs, like pen and paper RPGs.
Sure.
But in video games, I actually kind of have an affinity for well-made puzzle games.
Well, and this especially, much like Scribblenauts, ironically, is a thought exercise puzzle. You know, how can I get here to here to here to make this thing
if I didn't
work?
have a magical thing that's allowed me to summon giant diamond Cthulhus, I would love Scribblenauts. If there wasn't an infinite distraction button right there, I think I'd love Scribblenauts a
Sure,
lot.
definitely. You can get it for real cheap. Now, you and I bought the same 2 games already.
Because, and this is entirely true, I was vaguely interested in these games. Vaguely. Spork bought them, told me the price, and I was like, well, I'm not passing that up, so I bought them. So why don't you tell them about them, because you had actual reasons.
System Shock and System Shock 2. Both were $9.99. Right now they're on sale for $1.49 each. That's $3 for System Shock and System Shock 2. These are the spiritual precursors to the BioShock series. Wasn't a big fan of BioShock and BioShock 2, but BioShock Infinite I really liked. And
he did. He really fucking liked BioShock Infinite.
The gameplay wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but the storytelling was great. And I've heard that the storytelling in System Shock is so much better, and that the gameplay in System Shock is so much better even than BioShock. So
yeah, I heard it doesn't have a lot of the things that I don't like about BioShock.
Same. So I was really psyched to check it out. It's got a little bit of horror. It's got a little bit of problem solving. It gets recommendations from a lot of grognards, and grognards know their shit.
Like them or not, they know their shit.
Yeah. I picked those up, and I'm looking forward to eventually diving into them. There were a lot of classic games, actually, that are on my wish list now for the next big sale that they had remastered. Phantasmagoria 1 and 2.
A Puzzle of the Flesh?
A Puzzle of the Flesh! The only reason I didn't buy it is because the only reason it's on my list just for lulz. But I haven't seen anything about the first one, so I'm kind of curious. And I've heard it's an actual better game. Like, it's not
Phantasmagoria 2 wasn't good, bro.
No, it wasn't. But Phantasmagoria, I've heard, is actually a good game. And I Have No Mouth and I'm a Scream. And
oh, God, I hear about that all the time.
When I've read the book, well, the story. But, the game is a bit different. And, oh, God, what's his fucking name? Starts with an H. The guy who wrote it. You know who it is. I'm sorry, I can't.
Horatio Alger. Move on.
No, yeah. He was in Scooby-Doo. Harlan Ellison. He narrates the evil computer.
I fucking love that that's what got you there.
Because I saw his little Scooby-Doo face, and it helped. And, like, his narration is so bitter and hateful because he's the guy who wrote the words. So he knows exactly how pissed off that computer needs to be, and he reads it well. But, yeah, and there's a couple of other... Indiana Jones and the... Whatever the
honestly,
game was.
Steam sales... there's a couple of games that they're like one Steam sale away from being the price I want them to be.
You know, that happened to me, actually, this Steam sale. We'll get to that in a little bit, though. Why don't we hit up this block of games that
I'm going to be talking
here
for a minute because it's just easier if I cover all this shit at once. So I bought the orange box because I rented it a long time ago from GameFly for the console. This was in between my PC gaming days. After Diablo 2, before I bought a new gaming PC just recently. So I was mostly playing games on consoles. And I rented the orange box, and it was super fun. I beat Portal, because this was back when Portal 2 wasn't a thing. So I beat Portal, I played a little of Half-Life 2, not much. And then, the Steam sale came around, and they're willing to cut some prices on this. Because, like, it's their shit. So,
this shit went for cheap as hell.
So that gave me Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which are go from $9.99 to 99 cents, $7.99 to 79 cents, respectively. The 79-cent price for both of the add-ons. Team Fortress 2, quite against my will. I do not want it, but it's in my Steam library right now. Portal and Portal 2. I believe Portal and Portal 2 are included. I may have bought them separately, but in any case, it ended up being the same price.
Well, all the prices I have listed here are the sale prices.
And then the bundle price is just that price, all put together. And it may not have given me Portal 2. No, it didn't. It gave me all those except Portal. I bought Portal 2 also, but there's a Portal and Portal 2 bundle. That's the price of those two things combined. Separate. So that's actually one of the reasons. That is the thing that got me to buy the other sort of puzzly games, because I played Portal again, this time on a computer. And, it's fucking absurdly way easier on a computer.
Yeah, much like Overwatch, right?
It's just, I'm so much better at aiming with a mouse and keyboard, and I'm so much faster, and my twitch reflexes are so much better. So I blew through Portal in like an afternoon. Maybe over the course of one evening, I beat Portal. Then Portal 2 took me a couple days. I can only imagine how frustrated I would have been with if I tried to play that shit on console. But on the computer, I finally played Portal 2. It was really fun. It was really funny. It was really well made. It's super enjoyable, and it's a fun physics game, and I like those.
I'm not as hot on those, which is why, like, independently, I've never really been interested in Portal. That and, like, the original Portal was so meme-ified by the internet, and, like...
Portal 2 was not memed nearly as hard.
Not as bad, no. And which is crazy because Cave Johnson is pure comedy gold.
And also... the game is just, it's better across the board. The jokes are funnier.
Yeah.
They're better written. GLaDOS is funnier. Wheatley's, there's more than two characters.
Right.
Wheatley's way funny. Cave Johnson's amazing. The whole game is much better. The puzzles are better designed. The puzzles are more interesting and more challenging. And they require more lateral thought. It's just 100% an improvement on the original, which is what you want a sequel to be. But it's not memed nearly as hard. I guess because there's nothing quite so mimetic as the cake is a lie.
I guess, man. Some things take the world by storm, and Portal, the original, was one of them. But Portal 2, you mentioned you'd be interested in doing the co-op campaign with me.
God, yeah.
And it's only $1.99.
Fair warning, the co-op puzzles are way, way fucking harder.
Well, and it's not the difficulty of the puzzles that upsets me. I'm just not, like... I'm not that...
You're not a physics puzzle
What's
guy.
the opposite of triggered? Is it, like, jiggered?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not jiggered by physics stuff. Like, it's neat, and I might go, oh, that's neat. I'm glad they have good physics in this game. But the boy will sit there for a while and going, what is the weight of this object? What happens when I throw it? Excellent. Now I will record that data in my brain forever. What is the weight of this object? What happens when I throw it? Excellent.
There's actually a good joke in the game about shit like that.
Yeah?
Late in the game. Hey, spoilers for Portal 2, a fairly old game that I just bought for $1.99. If you don't want spoilers, go buy it for literally $1.99 and play it yourself. I'll give you a second. Okay, good. Wheatley's eventually turns on you, right? Turns out GLaDOS's rig provides like a dopamine response whenever you get a successful test through as the robot. Whenever a test subject figures it out, you get a dopamine response. So he's like, you're solving tests, and he's going like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. Keep solving tests. Instead of me making new tests because that's hard, how about you just solve this one again? And then I'll watch you solve it again. I didn't do anything. Okay, let's go to the next room.
That's pretty good.
It is, and that's me with physics puzzles games. I figured it out. Yes, I figured it out.
I love puzzles, as we're about to see here by the rest of my shit. So I can get that, but like just looking at it and going, this is so much physics engine. Okay, that's cool and everything, but there are other puzzles I'd be into. But why don't you go ahead and get us the full list of prices and discounts?
Well, there is one more game on my list that wasn't part of the orange box.
Please go ahead.
And I wanted to specifically point it out because after all those, I bought Half-Life. Because I've never played the original Half-Life. I played Half-Life 2, but I've never played the original Half-Life. Except maybe, at some point at someone's house when I was a teenager.
That's about how I played Half-Life 2.
But, I don't even think that much. Because I think I would remember.
It was like on someone's laptop, and I was like, oh, need a gravity gun. And I fucked with that for about 10 minutes, and I was done.
So I bought it. It was 99 cents. Whatever. I bought it because, like you with the game earlier in this list, I had never played it, and you don't have to play it to understand the sequel, but I wanted to.
Right.
So I got to a certain point in the game, because I played Half-Life after I bought it. I got to a certain point in the game where there's this puzzle that you need a finite resource, a finite amount of grenades to solve. And they don't tell you when the puzzle is solved. And to check if the puzzle is solved, you have to use at least 3 or 4 grenades. And you only have 10, so you can check maybe twice before you're out, and then you're fucked. I solved the puzzle, but I managed to, I guess, fucking not solve it the way the game wanted me to. I turned on the vent, and I managed to get up the ladder before the vent started, which apparently is not what the game wants. Because it kept, stopping me in front of an invisible wall. I managed to, juke my way around the invisible wall. And the game was not happy with that and didn't count the puzzle as solved. So I uninstalled the fucking game. I don't got time for that. I'm sorry. The game's not that good in the first place. That's right, internet nerds. Fight me. It's an old shooter. It's not that fun. The mechanics are really rubbery.
And I feel like that's part of the reason they're never going to release Episode 3 or Half-Life 3. Because...
Oh, Half-Life 2 might be amazing.
Well, no, but it's never going to live up to the hype. It has been the hype ball is so big at this point that even if it is the greatest game of all time, it will not be good enough. It can't.
Right. But, honestly, a big part of it is the controls. The controls are really, every single surface in Half-Life 2 is like those ice blocks in Super Mario Galaxy. It's just the easiest way to explain it. And then sometimes they give you a wet floor.
Which is even worse? Oh my god.
You press forward once and go just careening across the screen. It's the most... It is genuinely incredibly frustrating. And I was up against an invincible boss who you can't kill, who you have to distract with grenades, and I was almost out of grenades, and I found they hadn't counted that puzzle as solved, so I'd have to go all the way back and find out the biggest air quotation marks possible correct way to solve it. And I ain't got time for that. I got shit to do. I'm gonna go play your better sequel. Bye. The prices are Half-Life $9.99 discounted to 99 cents. Half-Life 2 $9.99 discounted to 99 cents. Half-Life 2 episodes 1 and 2 $7.99 discounted to 79 cents. Team Fortress 2 free, but I'm never gonna play it because it's garbage. Portal $9.99 to 99 cents, and Portal 2 $19.99 to $1.99.
I believe the Dead... What are this called? Zombie games?
Dead Rising?
No, that's the Capcom ones. Aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the shooters, the Valve ones. Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Those are also similarly discounted, if you guys are interested.
I played them on console.
Yes.
And that's a game I play with White, so...
You know, we did. And then, we got better shooters, and then we went back, or at least I went back and tried to play it, and went, never again, goodbye, thank you for the time we had.
Because better shooters exist. I'm sorry, the world done turned and left you here, buddy.
It's like going back to play GoldenEye and going, lol, but no. So, on to the rest of my list, because that's literally the rest of Boy's list at this point. I mean, we've only got a day left to...
Hey, what was the other games that were really well discounted? The Shadowrun games. I might end up picking those up.
Sure, and I might end up grabbing Portal, because it's A, cheap, and B, a game for us friends to play together, eh? But I got The Last Door and The Last Door Season 2. Those were both $9.99 each, got discounted to $2.49. They are pixel graphic horror puzzle adventure games, point and clicks.
Oh, yeah, I didn't describe what kind of games I bought, because everyone knows what the fuck Portal and
those last few ones are, oh my god. I mean, the rest of them, like I said, dude, I left my list up just in case I needed to look at a video, and I might for...
Oh, I have mainstream pleb taste. Look, I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm sorry, I can only be satisfied by esoteric crap. They are, they look really interesting, and I was like, at first, did I see Markiplier play this? Because... while I do have a lot of the same taste Markiplier has in horror games, I watch him play them.
So, and horror games, a big part of them are about the reveal.
Yeah.
And if you know where all the jump scares are, well, there's only so much you can enjoy.
But The Last Door looks gorgeous, and the pixel aesthetic, I love that, and the atmosphere is so good. I was like, fuck it, this looks great. The Magic Circle is a game I've had on my list forever. I played the demo. The demo is still free on Steam. It's usually $19.99. Right now it's discounted to $6. That's the biggest discount I've ever seen it have.
I actually think this is going to be... this looks like a really interesting game. I'm going to wait until it's next summer when it's $1, and then I'll buy it.
If it gets there, yeah. But I've been dying to get this game for a long time. Watch me not play it for a year, but still.
I'm more than happy to wait, but it does look like a cool game.
Yeah. You are a character in a game that's being play tested, that's full of bugs and glitches, and it gets canceled. So you are trying to fix the game within the game and get it ready to ship. All the while, you hear the developer, who is voiced by the same guy who does the voice for Dr. Venture, arguing with his ex-wife, I believe, and their intern about the game development process. And it's really fucking interesting. I played the demo. That's the quickest way to find out if you're going to like the game, is to check out that demo and see if that's...
And if you like the demo, you'll like this.
Yeah, I've been waiting a while to get it down low enough. I would have bought it ages ago, but, I don't have a job, so my funds are limited. I got the DLC for Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star. I still haven't gone through the actual game. I've only done the pigeony dating sim, fake out thing. I don't know what Holiday Star does. It's Christmas. And Day of the Tentacle Remastered. The classic Day of the Tentacle game. Holiday Star was $9.99, discounted to $1.99. Day of the Tentacle $14.99, discounted to $3.74. I've heard the remaster isn't it doesn't have some of the handy, loved nuances that the original has, but I never played the original, and this one looks better.
Yeah. Look, you're not always that guy, but there is something to be said for pretty.
I've got a couple of other classic point-and-click adventure games, like Full Throttle and stuff, in my wish list that I can't wait to check out, but, they are remasters, and I don't give a fuck. The last one is the one I keep forgetting the details of. It's called Void and Meddler. It's got some mediocre reviews right now, but I'm sorry, it just looks directly up my alley. It is described by Steam, as it loads, as a cyberpunk point-and-click adventure. Hey, guess what? Beautiful pixely graphics and just amazing neon cyberpunk aesthetic.
Yeah, it looks like a vaporwave video game. That's pretty much your deal.
Yeah, basically. It's got an episode 2. So I grabbed it. It might suck. I can't say it's a good recommendation, but it was fucking 99 cents.
You do have a bajillion games on Steam that you've never played, because that is the curse of all people.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All humans on Steam end up with 4,000 games they've never played.
Well, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to actually work through my games.
Yeah, have you played The Wolf Among Us?
No, actually, but there was a reason for that, and I checked it out the other day because I didn't know between Life is Strange and The Wolf Among Us whether I had the entire game or just the first episode.
Okay.
So I installed them both and checked. I had the first episode of Life is Strange. Guess what? We have it on PS4 now, the entire fucking thing.
So, yeah.
And I had all of The Wolf Among Us, which we also have on the Xbox One. So,
I might play that then.
Yeah, because of free shit.
I don't have it on Steam, so...
No. Oh, it's,
Well, it's just, I didn't... It's not something that seems like it'd be right up my alley, but if it's free, I'm not gonna... It's the reason I ended up playing Tomb Raider, and I fucking loved that game.
Yeah. Hopefully the controls don't get as complex as, Heavy Rain.
Yeah, we've mentioned on the podcast how I physically can't play Heavy Rain,
Yeah,
right?
you poor bastard, because that was such a good game.
I've got big gorilla hands.
He does, which are great for a lot of things. Opening jars, punching people like a mook.
But, like, contorting them around the tiny PlayStation... If it was on an Xbox, I could have played that fucking game.
Yeah, you know what? That's true.
The Xbox has a much more ergonomically designed controller, and I could have played it on that. But no, I had to play it on the PlayStation because that's the only place those games come out. And it has the weird, tiny 2 circles with sticks controller that I have to, like, claw hand my way around.
Every time I pick it up to play one of my PlayStation games, like Final Fantasy 15 or whatever, I'm like, what is this beautiful light angel in my fists? Where is my meaty hunk of plastic? I'm the guy who liked the original Xbox controller.
I actually like that too. I mean, I was a kid at the time, so it was genuinely too big for my hands. But if I could get my hands...
Oh god, that's the age difference in us, isn't it? Holy shit. Never has it been so clearly painted before my eyes.
It was that they were genuinely a little too big for my hands, but I didn't mind. And like, if I could get my hands on a current gen game controller that was just the original Xbox controller, but with current gen button mapping, I'd buy it in an instant. You have any idea how much easier that would make console games for me?
I don't have big hands. I have small, like, regular hands. I don't know. Like, I see my friends, they have, like, this is a fucking tangent here at the end of the podcast. They have, like, you know, a worker's hands or an artist's hands or, like, really elegant, slender fingers. I don't even have fat hands. He's laughing because of a long story about Sinestro and his slender fingers.
I'm sorry.
We can't. Show over.
Oh,
Say the thing.
dude, fucking everything's better when nerds talk about it.